Good morning. I'm going to wait just a second because I'm really so over this. Is that there are actually people supporting this. There are actually individuals that are listening to a man that is on a video nonstop talking about how someone else should not talk about something. But he's talking about it all night long. And again, right now. The only thing I have to say is this: for God's sake, any of those people over there or anybody on Facebook that claims to be this man's friend, find out what the problem is. It's not very difficult. And care enough about him to get him the help that is already documented that he should be doing himself. And that's as much as I'm going to say about that. But if anybody cared about him, because this is freaking nuts, crazy. No normal human being, it doesn't even take the diagnosis that he already has, but no normal human being does this. But yet, all these people sit around him and use him for their entertainment because that's all it is. And it's pretty sad. And when I found out the truth, I've tried not to say a word. But guess what? He doesn't stop. So, for God's sake, somebody around him, instead of over there egging him on with this garbage, get him the help that people already know he's supposed to have. I mean, really. I mean, he wants to talk about being an advocate for this and an advocate for that. He cannot even advocate for himself. And I'll say their names: Tammy Never, Hillary Lee, Gary Sigler, Mike Rage, all these people that are quote unquote supposed to be his family. Find out what the problem is and help him, because this is absolutely insane. I mean, it's literally sad. And, I don't have any love lost for him, but it's sad. And then he hooked up with the Turners, and, Joanna, they're egging it on about. And he absolutely made a video that said exactly what he was going to do. And I don't know why he forgot. Probably part of the problem. Then he does it with this individual that needed help. Then now he's been online all night long making videos trying to make excuses for himself. This is insanity. And there is a reason for it. And I would like somebody that is close to him to take care of him, meaning get him the help that has already been said he is supposed to be doing, and actually care about him instead of sitting over there using him for your entertainment, because it's pretty disgusting. And anybody that sits over there and watch that and think that this is normal behavior, there's something wrong with them too. Every video he says, "I'm just not gonna talk about it anymore," or "I'm not gonna do this," and then 2 minutes later, he's back talking about it again, blaming somebody for talking about it the first time. And not to mention, if he is contacting people that are in situations where they need help, he's got to help himself first. And I saw a comment that said, "What does Shauna what's her experience with these issues?" Well, I'll pose the same question. What is his dadgum experience? Because all he shows is exactly what the problem is. So, Gary Ziegler, Tammy Never Hillary Lee, all these people that quote unquote say they're his family. If you're his family, you know what the problem is and you would help instead of egging this on. And taking your own personal agendas and attacking other people through him and using him. NJ, Joanne, Anitra. Anitra, your dislike for Shauna should be your dislike for Shauna, not to get on a video and egg somebody like that on. Be a big girl. Deal with your own issues. You don't need social media to do it, to make yourself feel better. That goes for Joanne, that goes for NJ. If you cared about the issue at hand, you would not be egging it on. Any comments? And that's what I have to say. I've never seen that kind of insanity in all my life, literally. And I honestly believe the man could have things and have relate positive relationships with his children and do the things he needs to do. It doesn't matter if you're a vet, not a vet, whatever. You help people. And you don't even have to know. You can clearly see it. It's absolute. Just look, you got family like that. You don't need family like that. Yes, I am well. I'm thinking about this video and his quote unquote family that have allowed it to go on and on and on and on. Literally all night long. And again, and if anybody can't see that's not normal behavior, but hey, what do I know? One of the people closest to him find out. So that's all I have to say. I mean, it has absolutely, I mean, for, it's just disgusting. The whole thing's sick. And believe it or not, I wish everybody peace and everybody, even the people that hate me. And that's not peace. And when you know why, and people around him don't do anything about it, it's sick. So NJ, Anitra, Joanne, instead of being over there egging that on, why don't you reach out and find out what the problem is and actually do something and actually help somebody? I hope everyone has a great day too. I'm about to head to go Christmas shopping for the day, but I just had to say that, and that's how I feel about it. And I don't care what anybody thinks about it. If you know me, you know that I care. I mean, I care about people that hate me. And it, so I'll say it. Cropper, if you really want to have a relationship with your children and you really want to do the right things and you know what the problem is, reach out to me. And I'm not your enemy. I will help you get the help, because this needs to stop. It's not beneficial to anyone. And if not, then don't and continue. But it's just not, something's going to happen. It's not going to end well. Well, Jen, I mean, I go back and forth, and what people don't understand, it was just like with Blair. I knew there was something else going on. And people don't normally act like this. People don't, and I'm not saying the same situation as Blair's situation, but I don't hate people. And when people act like this, there's usually some type of issue. And so, yeah, Cropper, if you want to get help for your issues, I'll be more than happy to try to help. You deserve a relationship with your children. You deserve not to be in this. You deserve not to have to be on this box nonstop. Not, and I don't either, Jen. I hate no one. Am I happy with people and the way they treat other people? Absolutely not. And when you say things to me and you come after my children and you do those kind of things, you know, I'll have a reaction. But I also have the ability to sit back and see that there's a bigger picture. And people have said to me, legally do this, legally do nothing. Could I do that and drag people into a courtroom? Absolutely. But there is a reason why this behavior is occurring. And I'm not that person that he and others try to portray that I am, because I could have done that a long time ago. But I knew that there was a bigger issue. Now with NJ and Justin, um, that's too. I mean, that's just what it is. That's been decades, and I also know that when you do try to help people and they treat you a certain way, you believe how they act. But I mean, all night long, and I mean, you can see it. You don't even have to know. You can see that there's a problem. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to say. And I'm sure he'll come on, yell and scream, and that's fine too. Believe it or not, I've dealt with many of these situations. And I don't drag people to a courtroom just because I can. But I would like for the people around him to understand the issues. And since I didn't care if he won't reach out to me, but let's, it, at least try, because everybody deserves some type of inner peace in their lives. Everybody. And I think the majority of us that I know, here, Gina, Jen, Shauna, we do have it in our lives. And you see the people here that don't have it. But whether it's a court system that you were wronged by, whether it's however you feel, and whatever the issue is, when things aren't working, you have to do something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. Every child deserves a healthy mother and a healthy father if they can. That's what caring about children is. That's what it means. And that's who I am. Believe it or not, I care about parent. Everybody on here is a parent, and there needs to be peace if it can be. So that's where I am. And because this and yelling at women and doing all these things, there's issues. There's other issues, and I recognize those. So I would not be who I am if I didn't say that. This and you and because unless there is a specific reason, then everybody deserves and children deserve to have both parents. And the issue that we're dealing with is not an issue that can't be resolved, so he can have a relationship with both his children. The anger and everything that goes along with it, there can be a different path, but doing the same over and over again and expecting a different result is not going to make it happen. So do with that what you may, and that's how I feel about it. And it is those people that are sitting over there, it is nothing but their entertainment, and that's sick. But don't twist my words and don't mince my words and say, I'm saying something different now than I said before. When you come after me and my children, a lot of things happen. And I could have jumped right into a courtroom, but that wouldn't have stopped it because they said, the Turners said, they don't care if there's a court order. And the way Justin was talking about the court system and the lack of respect, and that's sad. He read some judicial canon for his state and he didn't even understand what he was reading. And it's just sad. And and you continue to go back and forth into a court system with law enforcement and you don't even understand anything about what you're doing. And then you wonder why it doesn't work out for you. That's the same situation. You keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's insanity. That shows that the Turners are insane. They have done this for years, over and over and over again, and expect some kind of different result. And it's always law enforcement's fault. It's always the judicial system's fault. It's always this person's fault. It's always that person's fault. No, there comes a time where you have to understand what you're doing is your own fault. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But like I did in my previous video, when you go into a courtroom and you don't even respect the system enough to do and act the way society wants us to act and the way our system works. We have the best judicial system in the world, and it's not perfect. But to bash it over and over and over again because you don't get your way, and then say that you stand for the Constitution, and it's the same with Cropper. What he's been doing for years has not worked. The reason it has not worked is not because anyone's against the Constitution, it's because the approach in the system is wrong. I have never, ever, ever been in a courtroom where I felt like the Constitution was not of the utmost importance, ever. But when you rely on the Constitution as your excuse because you don't get your way, it's just so sick and twisted. It's so sick and twisted. And I've thought about a lot this morning. I have thought about a lot when I was listening to that. And this, and I don't want to, step on toes or anything like that, but, militias, three percenters, all this, stuff. We have an armed forces in this country, and all of our ancestors, the difference between then and now is they believed in the Constitution and our country. And I'm sorry if nobody agrees with me, but there is no reason that I have ever seen for me not to still do as my ancestors did and believe. You don't get to take that honor because you take an oath and you're some kind of boots on the ground that never, these people don't know what I mean, they're not even part of what even is, they're not even part of what's going on. And it's not about Democrat or Republican. It's about we've gotten away from believing in our country. You're right. They don't know what's going on for show. And I said this one time before, a constitutionalist, even all the education that I've had, I don't even know probably 15% of everything about our Constitution. And social media has allowed people to spread things and, call themselves certain things that, just because they can, and they can do it. But other people talk about our education system as dumbing down America. Well, is it really? Or is it this box? And, you know, I certainly don't want my children to learn anything about the Constitution from these people. And the word patriot, the word advocate, the word Constitution, all of those things start with one common ground. This one word that is in all of those things is the word respect. You can't be an advocate without the ability to respect people with different opinions. You can't be a constitutionalist without um, the ability to respect others. You can't be all the a patriot. I mean, it's different. Yes, you have the right to flip birds in the White House. Yes, in our country, you have a right to do so. But to me, it's no different than not standing in respect for our country. I don't know. I just thought about it a lot this morning, and I've been really, really bashed on this box from I'm a horrible attorney to this to that, all these other things. Well, the one thing I know that I'm not is I'm not someone that disrespects my country ever. And I also am not someone that doesn't attempt to help someone before they are punished. That's why I have not jumped into the legal system. And I do that with my career every day. Sometimes the punishment might come, but along the way, I always try to help the individual. I don't do this for money. I didn't go and go to law school for money. Are there lawyers that do that? Absolutely. But there are also doctors, and in every profession, the same thing.